Okay guys, so real quickly before I start, I'd like to ask you to do me a favor, and that's like the video, ring the bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. Also click on the links in the description, they can help me out tremendously, and there are links when you look on my homepage where you can find me as well. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I know I go through, where you can find me and all that at the beginning. I'm not going to do that real quickly because I got to hop in the shower real quickly in a moment so I can go take care of the trash and everything because we're at halftime right now of the Rams and 49ers. But with that said, I wanted to come on here because as you might notice with the video here, with the pictures and the video recording, Vidu, which is one of the sites I use, one of the AI services I use, Vidu, it recently did an upgrade not too long ago by adding Q2. Now you might say, well, they added Q1 not that long before that, right? Yeah, they did, but I think they're realizing that with all the competition out there, they need to improve day by day. So Q2 came in, and it's a 1080p based update, which gives you two ways of creating. You can have the flash or the cinematic mode. Now, depending on which mode you use, it also is going to depend on how many credits you will spend. Sometimes, default-wise, you will use, if you go the 1080p flash mode, you'll use about, let's say, 30 credits, 20 credits, 10 credits, depending. It just goes higher. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of that. It just goes higher. But what's interesting is I've mentioned on many occasions that, sites like Vidu, HaloU, and all them that are improving and showing, showing signs of, hey, they want to be the top, the top dog in the AI battle, the image to video, text to video AI battle. They're showing signs that they want to do that, be that top dog. But here's what's interesting. I've also said in those videos that they need to add a few things. And one of the things I said that they need to add is extension. Well, Vidu has finally done that. Vidu has decided to add extension. Now, they used to have extension, as far as I know, they used to, but then they took it out. Now, I don't know if it was always there, I just never noticed, but it's there now. And how do I know? Because basically, they've given, basically, I'm trying to find the right word to say, they will give you a one trial option, if you will, one free trial option with the 1080p Fast and 1080p Pro, or Q2 Fast, Q2 Pro, if you will, give you a one free trial option to see exactly what the extension does. And then what I've noticed afterwards is that the price basically for either Fast or Pro when it comes to extension is actually it's actually kind of affordable. It is. Basically, when you do Q2 Fast, whether it's 4 seconds default wise or higher up, it's not that bad because you get 16. Because here's the thing: you do 16 credits for 4 seconds, and then it reduces down to basically 4 credits for 1 second. So the more seconds you add, the more credits you spend, of course. But basically, it's like 1 second is 4. 1 second is 4. 2 seconds is 8. Not 8, but 2 seconds is 6 credits. 3 seconds is 8. I think. No, wait a minute. It's 16. Well, you get the idea. Basically, it's like 1 credit is 4. 1 second is 4 credits. 2, I think, is 8. 3 is 12, and then 4 is 16, and this goes a little higher up to 7 credits, which is 7 seconds, which is 28 credits. So that's pretty cool. Now you might say, well, how much is it for Pro? Well, Pro is basically doubling that amount, of credits you'll spend. So again, on Q2 Fast, on the Q2 Fast extension, you own, default-wise, 4 seconds is 16 credits, right? You go Pro, it's 28. So it's just doubling it. And what does that mean by affordability, though? Well, basically what it means is that, let's say you use 1080p, the Q2 option, or the Q2 update by Vidu, you use that, and then let's say you want to go cinematic mode, and you want to go the full 8 seconds. That's like 70 credits, right? So let's say you want to do that. But then afterwards you want to extend, but you want to have a full extension of, let's say, a 15-second video, right? So the highest you can go up to is 7 seconds. but you want to make it look nice, so you're going to use Pro. So that together, 7 seconds on Q2 Pro, for 7-second extension, that basically, ladies and gentlemen, is 56 credits because it's double 28. Double the 28 initial from Q2 Fast. So you're going with the 56 credit option of 7 seconds on Q2 Pro. So together, you add that all up, and essentially for a 15-second video, you're spending basically 126 credits, which isn't bad. You might think it's bad, but it's not, because there are some others that will go a little higher. Luma, great service and everything, basically draft 720p or 1080p resolution for creations. They will basically tell you, right off the bat that it will cost up to 404 credits or 204, well, basically from 204 to 404 credits depending on the resolution. But then the extension will either be about 180 to 300 credits, all depending. And then that, on top of that, you also have whether or not you want to take out the result they gave you and go with a result that you feel is better, and then you have to spend like another 100-something credits just to make that your primary video that you want. You got to go from draft to 720 or 1080. You got to spend credits on that. And again, I'm not trying to say Luma isn't good. It is good. Don't get me wrong on that. Don't get me wrong. But affordability-wise, VDU right now is actually pretty decent. It is. Now, Halo U, to me, is good too. Don't get me wrong. They're decent. They're good. I'm not denying that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Even though they're good, and I'm not denying that, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the thing. Even though they now have transition frame to frame deal, scene by scene, even though they have that, they don't have the extension yet. Yes, they have VEO incorporated into them, and that's great. They have Google's VEO 3.1 and 3.1 incorporated into them, and that's great, and it works well. But the point is, they don't have no extension yet. But once they get it, along with the incorporation of VEO, then I'm pretty certain Halo U is going to take off. That's what it's going to do. But here's the thing: VDU right now, because they've added back or added extension for the first time, if you will. Which, by the way, you got to click on the video to bring it up, and once you do that, it's going to be on the bottom right-hand corner, as you will notice. It'll be on the bottom right-hand corner. Basically, VDU pretty much has taken the next step to be at the top, to be at the very top. But they do have competition, because Sora, OpenAI Sora, is definitely letting itself be known as, hey, I want you guys to take me as your AI creator or your AI creation machine. That's what it's doing. And it's doing this because it's adding in, and it's showing that it wants to be this because it's adding in credits now. It's added in some credits because they know people probably want to have more time and they don't want to be limited. So that's good. They're adding in, the credits, and they're adding in the option to buy more credits. And all they have to do now is just add an extension, and, not just extension, but also transition as well. Or, basically frame to frame, scene by scene. All they have to do is add that. And at the end of the day, I think Sora's pretty much got a good, a good case, if you will, a strong case to be the top. They have a strong case to be the top, along with the likes of Google VEO and all that. But it's up to them. And you also have Gronk.imagine, by X, by Twitter. You have that basically let itself be known, and it's actually pretty good, with its update. But all it has to do, like I said, is add in the two options that I said, extension and scene to scene, and they're good to go. So even though VIDU has taken that next step to be essentially a be-all, end-all, if you will, to be the leader, it still has a lot more to improve on. It still has a lot more to improve on. And the one thing I once said that they need to do, all of them, is they need to be a little loose. They need to be less restrictive. Once you basically lift that veil and be less restrictive, you've got a good chance of being at the very top. Gronk.imagine is on the verge of doing that. They are on the verge of doing that, if you will. it's just that right now, as I've said before, the AI for them, the AI for Sora, and even the AI for Vidu and others, Luma, HaloU, Kling, you name it, it's those AIs still have a lot to learn. They still have a lot to learn, and once those AIs finally get accustomed to be like, okay, we know what's good, what's passable, what's not passable, and all that, then whoever basically takes that next leap is going to be at the very top. But right now, VDU, like I say, you're seeing here, has taken that step, and that's a good thing. And on top of that, like I said, one of the best things they've done is make this more affordable in the long run for people that want to, continue the video and make it longer than what it is. Now, I haven't noticed whether or not there's a limitation. There may be, there may not be. I'll let you know about that down the line. But I just wanted to come on here in closing and basically let you know that if you're someone that likes to use, these kind of services, which I'm sure a lot of you do, VIDU is, has taken that step to be the top, choice out there. But that's all I really wanted to say, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Comment down below, like the video, ring the bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. And like I said, click on the links in the description to support me outside of YouTube and to find my content elsewhere outside of YouTube as well. But guys, that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to get in the shower now, and then I got to go take out the trash. And until next time, I am out.